Hey guys, I'm Lizzie and this is Lizzie Reads, and welcome to my November wrap-up. Welcome? Is that what you say when it's just a video? I don't know. We'll go with it. This is the second time I started this video because I realised 3 books in that I'd completely fucked it up and not told you what any of the books were about. Well done. Just told you my thoughts, not what they're about. I'm going to proceed now and pretend that I didn't do that. Well, I've just told you, but you know, that's the sort of person that I am. So to start off with, in November, I will note that I did DNF 2 books. I DNF'd The Uncommon Type by Tom Hanks. I keep going to say Cruise, it's Tom Hanks. And Nights at the Circus by Angela Carter. With the Tom Hanks book, I read the first short story and I didn't enjoy it. I found myself a little bit bored, and the narrator referenced at the end of every evening that they had sex, and I felt like it was unnecessary. But that wasn't it wasn't the end of the world. But I went to start reading the next short story, and it was just I read the first paragraph and I was like, I have no interest in this whatsoever. It's meant to be, I think it's meant to be sort of based on people and their lives and I don't know, something like that. I didn't really know much going in. I just read it because it was Tom Hanks, and I thought, do you know what? I have many other books that I want to read. Fuck this. And then with Nights at the Circus, I read about 45 pages and I thought, I had no idea what's going on. All I know is the character's got the same one of the characters got the same one of the characters has the same name as me, but everything else has gone over my head. I don't know where they are, don't know what they're doing. It's like I was just reading and not paying attention, which happens sometimes. So I thought, I'm going to put this away, take it back to the library, and I'll keep it on my TBR, on my Goodreads thing. And I was like, oh, I'll just come back to it another time when I can dedicate more time to it and I'll read something a lot easier. To start with, what I did read was Madness by Roald Dahl. These are short stories. This is a short story collection by Penguin. And they've assembled a lot of his stories that are to do with madness. There's a few others, Lust and things like that. This is the first one I picked up. I thought it was very interesting. I did only give it 2 stars. I think I didn't connect with a lot of the stories. There was a couple of, I think there was 3 stories that I really, really liked. And then the rest of them just sort of were a bit I understand what's going on. I kind of get the point. I'm not into it. I'm not sure if it wasn't the right, one of them books, not the right time or whatever. But I'm going to keep it because I love all his children's books. And I want to come back to it at some point to see if I enjoy it more. Or it is just these short stories weren't for me. But, that's okay. And then second in the month, I read Like Water for Chocolate by Laura Esquivel. This is a library book. That's why it's all shiny. And it's from the uni library as well, because I got a few bits for it for my dissertation. And it's basically about this woman. Her sister, in a sense, just to put it simply, her sister marries her sweetheart because she's not allowed to marry anyone. She has to stay at home and look after her mother. It's told in monthly chapters, but spans a wide range of years. It's got recipes throughout, which I really, really liked. I gave it 3 stars because a lot of it I really, really liked, but some of it was just okay, and I'm trying not to be really over-enthusiastic about books, which I am quite a lot. I'm like, oh, this is great, let's give it 5 stars. But, there's a lot of floating. Oh, I keep touching my hair. Gotta stop touching my hair. There's lots going about sort of Goodreads and ratings on BookTube at the minute, but I gave it 3 stars. I liked it. I recommend it. It's very interesting, completely different culture to my own, which I always love. I've got hairs on my face and I can't. Sorry, guys. Right. Yeah, so 3 stars. Really recommend it. My housemate, who also read it just before me, she really loved it. So, and we liked a lot of the same things about it because we're basically the same person. But that just goes to show it is really well loved, and obviously it's one of the most popular. I don't know, it's very well known. We'll leave it there. Shall we? Okay. Then thirdly, in the month of November, I read It by Stephen King. This is my first Stephen King novel, or tome, shall we call it? 'Cause it's bloody massive. Sorry. And I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I'd like to add that I didn't think it was nearly as scary as I thought it was going to be. I was scared I couldn't read it before bed, but that's because I have an overactive imagination, but I wasn't like terrified or petrified. And I only rated it 3 stars on Goodreads, and I think that was mainly because, first of all, I found it definitely didn't need to be that long. It was excessively long, but I did think that like I kind of struggled to get through it. It was definitely a push. Like I started reading it at the beginning of October, and I wanted to finish it on Halloween, you know, to be spooky and that, but I didn't finish it till maybe like a week into November, because it was such a slog, and it was some of it was really slow, and then it'd be really fast and really slow. I found that I didn't want to read it, and like I couldn't pick up any other books because I was trying to get through this. Any time dedicated to other books, I felt like I wasn't making progress with this, which essentially I wasn't. And there was one character until about 500 pages in who'd been there the whole time, but like I just didn't realise that he was an extra character because there were so many characters. I was so confused. But obviously I got to grips with it towards the end, and about 100 pages before the end there's a really uncomfortable event, like just after like at the climax. It's really uncomfortable, really unnecessary. I just found like it changed my opinion slightly on the book. Like it didn't need to be there. If you know the story or have read the book, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's just a little bit weird, and I like weird, but I didn't think this was necessarily needed to be weird. Anyway, we're moving on. And then next 3 books I read all in one day, might I add, because I didn't want to do uni work and I felt sad that day. So I went back to my old faithful, and if you look on my blog at all or anything like that, I'll leave it linked down below. This past year I've been doing a reread of the Princess Diaries series, which are one of my favourite all-time YA books. They're hilarious. I love Mia, even though she's dramatic, because I think that's how teenagers are. She's hilarious, she's stupid, she makes stupid decisions, but I love her, and I love Michael, and I love it all. So I just spent a Sunday afternoon, and if you follow me on Instagram, my favourite caption is "Sundays are made for reading." So I spent the whole of Sunday reading these 3 books, the last 3 in the series. So we've got After 8, To the Nines, and 10 out of 10 from the Princess Diaries series. Oh, they're so shiny. The Princess Diaries series by Meg Cabot. And I've just finished the 11th adult book, which I'd never read before. I mentioned it in my first video, The Tag, and yeah, I really liked it. There's literally nothing bad that I can say about these books. Well, I mean, there's there's lots of problematic things, but my enjoyment of these is just, they take me back to a place that I was sort of, however long ago it was that I was like this. I'm still a little bit dramatic, but you know, we're just getting to know each other. Won't go there. And then next, I don't have to show you, because I read The Beginning of the World in the Middle of the Night by Jen Campbell, which I left at my home in Hastings, because I finished it there, so I left it there on my bookshelf, and it was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. It's lots of quirky fairy tale inspired twisted short stories, which obviously I'm assuming if you're here you probably know who Jen Campbell is, but she is wonderful. I met her at an event in Crouch End in Waterstones. I went with my housemate Mia, and we got our book signed. It was really lovely. She was really friendly, and I was just very happy about that. And I read it. I enjoyed all of the stories. 1 or 2 went over my head a little bit, because sometimes that's what happens to me. Sometimes things go over my head, and I get it, but I don't really get it, if you know what I mean. And obviously that just happens. So I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, but I'm definitely going to come back to it. I'm definitely going to read it again. I've even read a couple of the short stories again just since then, because they were just so lovely. It was brilliant. I have nothing else to say except you should read it, and everybody and their mother is talking about it, so read it. Then I read I listened to Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them on audiobook, which I got from the Overdrive app, which is something I love because I love the library. And it was the one that was narrated by Eddie Redmayne, and I realised once I'd started it, I thought I'd read it before, being a massive Harry Potter, pretty massive Harry Potter fan. I thought I'd read it before, but I never actually hadn't. I don't know why. Probably too busy reading the others. And I loved it. I loved Eddie Redmayne's narration. It was brilliant. He's perfect. He's a perfect new. I loved the film as well. And I'm looking forward to the next one. But obviously I'm a bit conflicted with Johnny Depp and everything. That's very conflicting for me. But that's by the by. Another video, well, not my story. I'm gonna move on. And I gave that 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I think, it was great. I don't know why I didn't give it 5 stars. I might give it 5 stars. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Had me very relaxed. I think it was an hour and a half, and I listened to it on speedy because I'm impatient. And yeah, I loved it. And to finish on another lovely book that I read, and that is, I've only got a minute left, Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. I've only got a minute left because my phone's like running out of space or something like that. I'm not really sure how it works. Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman, and it's about a man who stumbles upon London below. And there's London above and London below, and London below is a very twisted version of the London that we know and love. It was brilliant. I'm loving Neil Gaiman. 4 stars. I gave 4 stars. It wasn't my favourite as of yet, as I've read so far, but I thought it was really good. And I'm really running out of time now. I can't believe I've gone on for 12 minutes. I think I can edit this down. But yeah, maybe I'll put a little bit more in the description about this because I'm running out of time and I don't want to film it all again because I'm lazy. So thank you for watching. If you'd like to like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you soon. Bye.